Okay, it is officially 9:30, so we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order, and we'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. And if the clerk could take the roll, please.
Commissioner Luck?
Here.
Commissioner Brasted?
Here.
Commissioner Cardiac?
Here.
Commissioner Silveraja?
Here.
Commissioner West?
Here.
Commissioner Gamache?
Here.
Commissioner Schulte?
Here.
And the first item is tax claims and abatements. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner West. Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Brasted?
Aye.
Commissioner Cardiac?
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja?
Aye.
Commissioner West?
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache?
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte?
Aye.
Commissioner Luck?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item is review of checks issued from Finance and Central Services and from Human Services. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Then we have approval of our minutes from our June 27th County Board meeting. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any additions or corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. We have 3 items today under Chair's remarks. It's really hard to believe, but it is already time for the Anoka County Fair. Our first guest is extremely busy right now preparing for the influx of more than 40,000 people each year to the fairgrounds, which is absolutely incredible. Commissioner Look, would you please introduce our guest?
Thank you, Madam Chair. That's right. It's Tuesday, July 25th is when the fun begins at the fairgrounds. And the Anoka County Fair is truly a snapshot of life in our county and provides fun and educational experiences for the whole family. It's also important to note that the county fair is a separate organization from Anoka County. It's made up of volunteers from our community who do an amazing job every year. I've invited Mike Allers, President of the Anoka County Fair Board, to join us today and to talk more about things happening at the fair. And Mike, if you'd like to join us, thank you.
Oh, yeah, the fair's only 2 weeks away. So as you can see by the kids here getting all their projects ready and stuff, it's crunch time. We've made some significant improvements on the fairgrounds this year, thanks to the help of the board here. We just put a new roof on the church. That was in dire need. That church was the old Constance Church over in Andover, which was moved over here to the fairgrounds in the early 80s. And it was in dire need. The roof was gonna actually cave in at some point. And so we put a new roof on that. Right now, they're working as we speak on tearing the roof off of the 4-H building for a couple of reasons. One, we needed to insulate it for the indirect heat that we're getting from it, and it leaked pretty bad. So as they can attest, their projects would sometimes get wet. So we're under with that, and we're also rebuilding the west ticket booth, one right off of 47 where all the walk-in traffic comes in. So we're making some significant changes. We're always trying to improve. We did also pour a dance floor up at the band shell this year too. Took out the bleachers. You know, when we do our opening ceremonies, we normally have those bleachers that are sitting there. We took them out just to give it a more open appearance. So just cosmetically, we're trying to do a lot of improvements. And again, I thank you guys for the support that you've given us. We do have our grandstand event this year is about the same as it was last year. We have Tuesday, we have motocross. Wednesday, we have the bull riding with the mutton busting. If you've never seen the mutton busting, it's a blast to watch these kids just see how long they can hold on to a sheep. It's a riot, it really is. I mean, you think bull riding's fun to watch? Come see the kids, that's really fun. Thursday and Friday, we have a sanctioned National Tractor Pullers Association event. It is a very, very big event, even for the NTPA, so these guys do go out there for points. And there's a lot of prize money for them. Saturday, we have our big air event. Last year, we got rained out on that. We tried vigorously to try to get it back going again, but the track was just way too wet, and the safety of the riders just wouldn't have been there. So this year, we're hoping that it all goes through, and it's really fun to watch these four-wheelers and motorcycles do backflips. It's kind of like a little bit like X Games, but not as severe as the X Games are. And Sunday, we have the Demo Derby, which is always a great crowd. That's just a whole different crowd. I mean, they are very into this. Well, a lot of times the Demo Derby is something that's went on for years and years, and their parents had done it, and their parents, and there's rivalries between, friends and family and stuff like that. So that really is a fun time for that too. The dates of the fair are July 25th, which is exactly 2 weeks from today. So I'm just asking you all to come out and support the fair. Any questions from anybody?
Any questions at all?
Madam Chair, I just comment, you guys do a fabulous job out there, and I think back through my racing career, that was my first race car, was a demolition derby car at the Anoka County Fair. I didn't win either.
Oh,
But I'm going to come back out of retirement one of these years. That looks like a lot of fun.
thank you. Thank you,
Well-
Madam Chair. Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you so much, Mike. And again, this happens through the efforts of all volunteers, dozens and dozens of volunteers who literally take their vacation time to spend out their time at the fair and getting ready for it and preparing. So just really appreciate the efforts of all the volunteers. And again, it begins with the annual flag raising ceremony on Tuesday, July 25th, and runs through Sunday, July 30th. And if you want more information about our great Anoka County get-together, go to their website at www.anokacountyfair.com. And of course, what is the fair without 4-H? This year, we're celebrating 100 years of the University of Minnesota Extension activities and services in Anoka County. 4-H is the largest extension program in Anoka County, and our county fair still serves as a showcase for 4-H members to highlight their amazing projects. And we had the opportunity to see some amazing projects this morning, so thank you so much for being here. So I would like to turn it over to Commissioner Brasted to just tell us a little bit more.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It is truly my pleasure to talk about an organization that has made so many contributions to Anoka County. 4-H members began exhibiting at the county fair in 1918. Last year, more than 400 4-H members exhibited nearly 3,700 projects. I'd like to introduce Anna Gilbertson, the 4-H program coordinator from the U of M Extension Anoka County office, to talk more about all the wonderful learning opportunities 4-H offers, along with more details about their participation in the fair. Anna?
Thank you, Commissioner Brosted. On behalf of the University of Minnesota Extension and Anoka County 4-H Youth Development Program, we are so thankful for having you allow to come and share about our 4-H program, see a little bit of our project learning, and I wanted to introduce this awesome group of special guests that we have here. My name is Anna Gilbertson. I'm the 4-H program coordinator for Anoka County, and I have with me my fellow coordinators, Lane Vermeulen, if you want to stand, and Jai Zhang. And Laura White is our office, our summer intern this year. And then the wonderful Kim Ferguson, if you can stand Kim, she has been a support staff in the county for almost 15 years, I think. 18, just kidding. So she kind of is really the driving force behind what gets us all to the fair. So, and then I want to introduce the wonderful 4-H members that you guys were able to see earlier. We have the Brownstein family is here today, so Gabby, Maria, Joey, and Judah, and their mom, Rebecca. Brought them here today, so thank you guys. And then we have Laura Wyatt. She's also a 4-H member. She's our summer intern, but also a 4-H member. Roy and Audrey Gilbertson, Teresa Polnazik, and William Savula. So thank you to all these 4-H members who came today. I also want to start with just a big thank you to the Fair Board for their work kind of getting our 4-H building in tip-top shape this year, and of course to the Board of Commissioners for supporting that funding to help that project go through. We truly appreciate it, and it's going to improve the fair experience definitely. But we also have things that happen. Dog training and things start out there in May, so it's a long period of time that we use that building, so we truly appreciate that. So today I'm just quickly going to share a few kind of fun pieces of County Fair 4-H history, and then I'm going to turn it over to a 4-H member who's going to speak a little bit about her experience with the fair. So as you know, this year is marking our 100 years of extension in Anoka County, so I thought I would just do a few little historical trivia pieces. So the first formal reporting of extension at youth programs at the fair appeared in 1918, so noting our first official participation. In 1936, a formal dance hall was converted to become the first dedicated building, the 4-H building on the fairgrounds. In 1942, the county fair was canceled due to lack of funds during World War II. However, a special county fair was still held to recognize the accomplishments of youth. And I think there was like a $500 budget for that fair experience, and I think most of that went to premiums for the kids. So they were able to still have a fair despite the wartime. Throughout the history of Anoka County, 4-Hers have been reflecting the values, societal concerns, and important issues of the day through the project works and exhibitions that you see at the fair. So in 2017, 4-H is still a vital part of that fair experience. Exhibiting 4-H projects allows youth to showcase what they have learned as part of their project work. And it really teaches those vital life skills. Kids can sit in front of a judge and share what they've learned and learn how to look somebody in the eye and talk about what they've learned, get that feedback, and that evaluation piece is really important to that. And then also they get to showcase what they've learned and their research to the public. So our building is open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day, so you can always see that project work that's on display. We do still have some animals in Anoka County. A lot of companion animals, but we've got poultry and rabbit shows. They start on Monday. Actually, our highest enrolled kind of livestock project is llama. So if you are there on Sunday, the llama show is very exciting. They do llama agility, and they do all sorts of cool things with the llamas. So because they're great therapy animals. So Anoka County boasts the largest county arts and program. It's a performing arts experience where youth create a 20-minute singing and dancing show, and then that's on display at the fair every day except for Thursday. Wednesday, we have a family fun night, so that's kind of geared towards newer families wanting to come into the building and learn about our programs. All of the youth are the ones that operate that event. They run the stands and teach kids about project learning. And Thursday, finally, this is my last little highlight, Rube Goldberg competition we have, and that's a project where kids create a complex machine to produce a simple result. So this year, the challenge is to raise a flag. So that competition is on Thursday in the morning. So it's a really great STEM experience for youth members. So clubs can create a team and put that together, and Jai is the one who kind of coordinates that piece. So most of you were able to visit with some of our terrific 4-H members today to see just a small piece of the project work. And I just wanted to point out, for example, Teresa Polnazik is here, and she doesn't know I'm going to pick on her, but as you saw, she had these beautiful, beautiful quilting projects. So in 4-H over the years, she's really honed that craft and that life skill. And so now she's in the future going to be hopefully opening a quilt shop. Maybe it'll be in Anoka. That would be awesome. And is wanting to design her own patterns. So it's really a great example of somebody who's taken her experience in 4-H and really translating it into a career and something that is going to be beneficial to the community. So great job, Teresa. And also, Miss Gabby Brownstein, would you like to come up? She's just going to talk a little bit about her experience as a 4-H'er and showing at the fair.
Hello, my name is Gabrielle Brownstein, and I'm a junior in high school. 5 years ago, my family joined Anoka County 4-H, and since that time, I've learned so much. In fact, without this knowledge and these skills, I wouldn't be able to speak to you today. When I initially joined 4-H, I was not at all comfortable in speaking in either small or large group settings. But the Anoka County Fair has been such an excellent learning experience for me. I've been able to bring my projects to show at the fair. This gives me confidence and a sense of pride in my accomplishments, and I learn a lot from other kids' projects as well. In addition to being able to show my projects at the fair, I've been judged on my projects. This has taught me how to dialogue in an interview situation, which I think is a very important life skill to have. For me, each year, the interview process becomes easier and even enjoyable. This experience has given me the confidence and skills to participate in other 4-H events, like the Communication Arts Speech Contest and Project Workshop Day. The excellent skills that I've learned from the Anoka County Fair have enabled me to compete and win first place at the Minnesota State Fair 4 years in a row, to go teach wildlife classes for 4-H kids in Anoka County for the past 3 years, speak at my church, start the first environmental fun fair in the county, and so much more. I've learned to be confident, skills to be a better speaker, how to have a successful interview, and how to teach others. I'm so grateful to Anoka County 4-H and the county fair in particular for all that I've experienced and learned. Thank you.
Wow. Very impressive. Certainly wonderful, wonderful skills that are learned and gained in participation in 4-H. And gone are the days when 4-H is only about canning or baking or sewing or just farm animals. There are so many opportunities. There is something for absolutely everyone in 4-H. And for parents who are looking for opportunities for their youth, 4-H is definitely a great opportunity. And so I want to again thank all of you for being here. I want to thank Anna and the rest of the staff for the great work that you do. And it's just exciting to see the promising leaders of the future really being developed through these amazing programs. So be sure to check out all the projects, the shows, the judging, and entertainment provided by our local 4-Hers out at our Anoka County Fair. So thank you so much for being here. Now moving on to our third and final item today. It's long been Minnesota's largest outdoor water park, but Bunker Beach has now been recognized by WCCO TV viewers as the best outdoor water park in the whole state of Minnesota. Here are highlights from a story they recently did announcing the Viewer's Choice Award.
This week in Best of Minnesota, my fellow water wizard Chris Schaefer and I had the daunting task of trying out your choice for the best water park. This is Bunker Beach Water Park, 9 acres of aquatic bliss with so many offerings that could put a smile on almost anyone's face.
We're the largest outdoor water park in Minnesota at 9 acres.
Inside that 9 acres are 8 different attractions, the most popular of which is...
When that buzzer goes off at the wave pool, that's where everyone runs to.
No surprise, it's the largest outdoor wave pool in the state. But if it's calmer waters you're after...
My man is so lazy. Look at my man, how lazy he is.
This is my river. Ooh, it's like a car wash.
Feeling the need for speed, we save the best for last.
Yeah, baby!
It's not just the water park, it's a really neat area. The regional park there has camping, horseback riding, the water park, of course. Really a hidden gem and so close to downtown. Yeah.
Yeah. The setting's beautiful because you feel like you're out in the forest. So it's really
beautiful.
Wonderful. As chair of our Parks and Community Services Committee, I'd like to ask Commissioner Kordiak to talk a little bit more about the incredible job our Parks and Recreation Department does and introduce our guests.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Undoubtedly, it's very gratifying to receive this recognition from the very people who use it and enjoy the water park activity as they report to WCCO. We're pleased to see that. Our success at Bunker Beach really started sometime in about 1988 with some outside-the-box thinking, and we went on to build Minnesota's first wave pool. At the time, it was a zero-depth wave pool, which is unusual and has become the norm, I think, so it's kind of a groundbreaking opportunity. From there, Bunker Beach has grown and expanded to become a very popular destination for the people of the metropolitan area and beyond. We've gone on to grow, and you recognize some of that in the pictures with a lazy river, multiple tube slides, a sand play area for young children, a zero-depth entry pool for small children. There's something for everyone there. It's a very attractive location, all the colors and opportunities there. Here to report that on that further is our Parks and Recreation Manager, Corey Hintz, to talk a little bit more about the recognition and the park itself. Corey?
Thank you, Commissioner Kordiak. Madam Chair, Commissioners, my name is Corey Hins, Recreation Services Manager for the Anoka County Parks and Recreation Department. This is my colleague, Tony Portazon, Recreation Services Coordinator, who oversees the general operations of Bunker Beach Water Park. Let me tell you, we are ecstatic to receive this recognition from WCCO. First, it highlights all the fun and the wonderful experience at Bunker Beach Water Park, but better yet, it highlights the whole regional park. This is wonderful promotion, and it's a wonderful way to kick off the month of July. All right. The water park, we opened up in June. We're open daily from 11 to 7. And then Tony's going to talk about some of our promotions that are coming up. We want to make sure that we want to create this experience that everyone in Anoka County can experience the water park and also attract people throughout the metro to just engage in this full day experience.
All right, thank you. Madam Chair, Commissioners, I'm Tony Porters. I'm the Recreation Services Coordinator for Anoka County Parks. And yeah, once again, we are just very happy about this recognition that we received at Bunker Beach. And it's not just us too. We have 140 seasonal employees who just do an outstanding job at Bunker Beach. I just wanted to kind of highlight some of our special events. We have a lot of different kind of events that kind of stray from the regular admission days. So we do try to offer 3 half-price days a year. During the summer, we usually have one every month. You can see we have one coming up on July 24th. We also have, half-price season pass sale. We have discount days, Explore Your Parks Day, where, you can enter Bunker Hills Regional Park at no charge and then also get a discount at Bunker Beach when you get there. And yeah, so we try to offer all these special events for our guests. And we also have a couple programs outside of our regular scheduled water park hours. So we have Cardio Club, which is just a time for people to come in, walk against the current of the lazy river and just get a low impact cardio workout. Last year we increased the days, we doubled the amount of times that we offered it on. So now we offer it 6 days a week. The only day we don't offer it is Friday, but it's just gained a huge following. We have about, on average, 100 people per day, and it's just a great event, and we've just heard a lot of positive things. Tot Time is something that we are working on this year. It's a new thing for 2017, and it is Wednesdays in July, and it's just a time for parents to bring in their small children before the crowd of the water park.
It's the program's open before we open. It's a great way to utilize morning water time, and it's a wonderful way for a mom or dad or a guardian to bring their toddler in to experience the Zero Death Walk-In Adventure Pool.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. Appreciate the great information and the great work that you do. Just a real incredible honor, especially since you were chosen by the people who obviously have not only been to Bunker Beach, but really, really, really enjoyed it. And if residents would like to see the entire video from WCCO TV Story, we have a link to it. Just go to www.bunkerbeach.com. And if you have not experienced Bunker Beach, you definitely need to go out there and experience it. It is a lot of fun. So,
thank you.
That concludes Chair's remarks, and now we'll go on to committee reports, beginning with Management Committee. Commissioner West.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and all the information on this report is for information only, and that concludes my report.
All right. Thank you very much. Now we'll move on to Information Technology Committee report. Commissioner Gamache.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This report comes from our meeting on Thursday, June 8th, and the only information that we had at that meeting was to go over the capital improvement projects for 2018, so it was an informational item only. Susan is here if anyone has any questions. Susan Vreeland is here if anyone has any questions regarding what's coming up. I know we've got a lot on the plan for 2018 and onward, and I think we'll be having some discussions going forward. I think the Finance Committee is going to be seeing it in the next few months as well, because we have some issues that we have to begin to deal with. But technology is always changing, and it's never cheap whenever it happens. So, but Susan's had a great report for us. Commissioner Schulte and I were there and took it all in, and I'll leave it open for anybody that has any questions regarding it. Otherwise, it's informational only.
Okay, any questions or comments at all, Susan?
I could just put out there, Madam Chair, members of the board, I'm Susan Reel, I'm the Director of Information Technology. Commissioner Gamache hit it right on the head. You know, we've got a lot on our plate, a lot we're working on right now. What we try to do is we start early in the year to plan, not just with our customers, but from an infrastructure perspective. What do we need from a capital perspective, a staffing perspective, and just an overall planning perspective to look into 2018 and see how can we lay out our resources to get everything kind of moving at one time. So the purpose of our presentation last month was what we see coming, what are the potential unforeseens, and then how do we make all that work together.
Okay. Commissioner Schulte.
Madam Chair, I would just comment so the rest of the board knows that the Unified Communications Project is going really well. We had a little bit of an update at that meeting on where they were at, and progressing nicely. A hiccup here and there, but nothing serious, and before long, we'll be fully unified in our communications.
And to speak to your point, getting back to our day jobs, Commissioner.
All right. Thank you very much. Now we'll move on to Intergovernmental and Community Relations Committee Chair Report. Commissioner Brassad.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The first item is that I would recommend the county board renew a contract with the University of Minnesota Duluth Medical School for medical examiner office space and storage in an amount of $1,900 per month.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Kordiak. Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item.
I would recommend that the county board approve amending contract C004159 with Avalon Transport. The medical examiner's office has used Avalon Transport for their services since 2015, and Avalon has changed their business name to SGI.
Okay, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And that concludes my report.
Right, thank you. Now we will move on to Internal Audit Committee report. Commissioner Kordiak. Or, I'm sorry, Commissioner Look.
Madam Chair, thank you. I think Commissioner Kordiak handled this in the past.
Yes, I apologize. I'm
Inherited the committee or something,
get
I'm
it.
not sure, but be happy to help out. The Internal Audit Committee met on Thursday, June 22nd, and we, with the help of Randy Voigt and Julie Mader of the Office of the State Auditor, we went over a review of the 2006 Management and Compliance Report for Anoka County. All the report I have to present is for informational purposes only, but what I will say is that the report was unmodified, meaning that it's the highest opinion given possible. And so we essentially passed with flying colors. What I do want to mention, though, is I want to thank Chuck for helping to walk us through some audit speak, shall we say, when they come up with different terms, and certainly was helpful to the committee in clarifying, now what you're saying is this, correct? And oh yes, that's what we're saying. So we were able to get through that painlessly, and we're definitely, I think, fortunate to have Chuck here to kind of navigate through some of those specifics. So that being said, we're unmodified and good to go.
Very
That
good.
concludes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Look. Now we will move on to our final item, which is to consider adopting Resolution 2017-86, a resolution declaring a state of emergency. And I will invite Terry Stoltzman to come and explain this and why we're doing it and how it works.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Terry Stoltzman, the Anoka County Emergency Management Director.
As you may recall, seeing the video on CNN and other sources, we had a major hailstorm here in the county in June 11th, 2017. Over the last month, it's been a month since then, we've had a number of cities and other governmental entities start to have claims with their insurance and find out that they had uninsured loss. In short, in 2014, the governor and the legislature created a disaster contingency account for this type of event that is not up to a federal level for asking for a federal or presidential declaration, but a state level declaration. So one of the steps with that is doing a damage assessment. We've been collecting data from the cities that were affected, from school districts, watersheds, other governmental entities to find out what they had. And this was spurred by a phone call from the state, of all people, about the National Sports Center with a large loss of infrastructure to that venue. The numbers that you have actually were revised this today when you talk about navigating audit speak. I navigate the FEMA speak and the state speak for disasters. I was doing that at 6 o'clock this morning when they revised their numbers down to $491,000 for the sports center for uninsured loss. However, Coon Rapids has $133,000 of damage for plowing the hail and repairing culverts, which puts us over that state indicator threshold of $595,000, and realistically $600,000. We're at about $651,000. We're still gathering data. So the next step, yesterday, Commissioner Silverado signed a declaration as board chair for up to 72 hours. The next step is for the board to affirm that for 30 days. It's part of that process, as you've seen from your handout. And what that does, it just allows the state to come back to do a supplemental preliminary damage assessment with those cities and other entities that are going to turn over their numbers. And we're looking at uninsured loss. What that means for the county and those other jurisdictions is a potential for the legislator to give them funds to reimburse partially their loss during that storm. And this is only for government property, the infrastructure for public infrastructure, not individual assistance for homeowners. That's done through their insurance company. So what we're asking today is to pass the resolution. As part of that process, the next steps, be working with the state of Minnesota to go through the rest of their paperwork, navigate those waters, and get the cities and the county and the other governmental entities what relief we can from the legislature.
Okay. Thank you, Terry. Anyone have any questions at all? Terry? Right.
Can I offer it, Madam Chair?
Yes, resolution has been offered. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. And with that, the meeting is adjourned.